Welcome to Science Lab with Mrs. Keener. Hi everyone. Today we're going to do two experiments that show how inertia works. Inertia is the tendency of things to keep doing what they're doing. If something is not moving, it has inertia, it's just going to stay the way it is. If something is traveling, it has inertia, it's going to keep moving the same way it's moving unless some outside unbalanced forces act on it. This is sometimes called Newton's first law of motion. Sir Isaac Newton was the first to describe how objects in motion tend to stay in motion, objects at rest tend to stay at rest, unless there's some outside forces acting on them. For the first experiment, you're going to need a cup and either index cards or a piece of paper that's about the same size as an index card. You can also use any thin piece of cardboard or cardstock. The paper or cardboard needs to be big enough that it covers the top of the cup. Then you need to put something small on top. I'm using a quarter, but you can use any small object, something small enough that it would fit inside the cup. If you put the small thing on top of the paper and you pull on the paper slowly, the small thing travels along with the paper. There's friction between the coin and the paper paper pulls the coin along with it if you pull on the paper slowly. But if you give the piece of paper a quick yank, the forces of inertia will overcome the forces of friction, and you might be able to get the coin to land in the cup. You might have to practice it a few times. It helps if you line up the piece of paper and the coin with the far edge of the cup. That way you don't have to have the paper move very far under the coin. You only have to overcome a little bit of friction. Are you able to get the coin or other small object to fall in the cup? Try it. Take pictures or video. In the next experiment, I'm going to teach you how to do the tablecloth trick. Sometimes magicians or performers will set up a table with dishes and then they'll yank on the tablecloth and the tablecloth will come out from under all the dishes and the dishes will stay on the table. How do they do this? Inertia. Again, usually there's friction keeping things together. But if we pull quickly, we can see inertia at work. To do this experiment, you need to use something that will not break. Please do not use expensive china, fancy glasses. I'm using a plastic plate and plastic cup. You can use any items, a can, a toy, just put something on a surface. I'm also working close to the floor because I have a feeling I might mess up a few times. And then the most important thing you need is a piece of cloth, a piece of fabric that's smooth. So a blanket probably won't work. A towel probably won't work. You might have a piece of clothing that works. It needs to be very smooth, and it needs to have no hem at the edge, no bumps, no zippers, no buttons. It needs to be very, very smooth all the way to the very edge. If you don't have something like this, you can try doing this with a piece of paper. So I cover my surface. I'm using a piano bench instead of a table. I cover the table with the smooth cloth. I put my plate and mug on top of it. If I pull on the cloth slowly, the dishes travel along with the cloth because there's friction there. But if you pull quickly on the cloth and you yank it down right at the edge, pull it down towards the floor, give it a quick yank, you might be able to get the cloth out and leave the dishes up on your table. Even if you can't get your dishes to completely stay on the table, you might be able to get them to stay partly on the table So compare slow tugs to quick tugs. See if you can improve the amount that they stay on the table. Maybe you can at least get them partly on the table. Take some pictures or video and share with me in Flipgrid. I'd like to see if you can get either of these inertia experiments to work. Good luck.